We have breaking news out of Ottawa, better yet, China. They're about to shoot down a UFO. Check this out. China prepared on Sunday, late Sunday, I should add, to shoot down an unidentified flying object, a UFO, currently over Shandong province, the state media said, hours after a U.S. fighter jet brought down an unidentified object over Canada, the third such incident in North American skies over a week. I'm telling you guys, there's a lot more information coming out. These are legit UFOs, supposedly, allegedly, whatever.
Hey, well, I know that it's hard to get you to believe me, but I just want you to know that if you're ever feeling down or depressed, and you just feel like everything's wrong with your life and you want it to stop, just know that there are people there for you, whether you're aware of it or not. It's a really hard time for you, I promise you. It just takes time and a little bit of effort. I know you won't believe me at first, but you just have to have a little bit of faith and a little bit of hope. If you're listening to this, just know that I believe in you. You can do it.
Welcome, and all American cartel members, Anons, Facebook friends, Twitter followers, random YouTube viewer, BitChute viewer, TikToker, Redditor, GLPer, 4chaner, and anybody else that I might be forgetting. Thanks for joining me. My name is Julio. I am the Theorizing Theorist. And today we are under attack by aliens and nobody seems to care except for here at the cartel. So today we're going to be talking about this invasion a little bit, or should I say tonight. I know this is like the 8th video I've made on this damn alien invasion, and no one seems to really be catching on that these aren't balloons. Maybe you guys haven't noticed the fact or the lack thereof of a mention of a balloon. There's no balloons in the last 3 mentions. Even Schumer was like, yeah, 3 of the last 4. But even if that's beyond the point, forget what they're saying. Look at what the army is saying and these generals are saying. They're telling you legit they have no idea how these things are floating. They say that there's no logical explanation, basically, that these things are up there in the air. There's no balloons, there's no propulsion, there's no nothing, right? And so they're pretty baffled. And then there's other I already read to you the instruments failing and all this stuff, but now there was another incident, and I'm going to show you. I think I found it, and then I thought that we had debunked it, but then I heard later on that it was in fact real. And so I don't know what information I got. Maybe this was just like to cover it up. I don't know if it's still out there, what I'll show you here in a second. But basically they saw another blip, I think out in here in where was it, in Minnesota, I guess. I don't know, but it's called Project Loon is what they discovered. Now get this, before they've discovered what it was, everyone was freaking out there, shutting down the space and everything, and they went out there with their jets, and the damn thing vanished. They have no idea what it was. They went out there to go make contact. When the pilots went out there and tried to make contact, there was nothing out there. So very, 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 very creepy stuff. Now, it would be all too easy for the government and the generals and everything just to come out and flat out say, come on, guys, we know it's not aliens. But these generals out there are not saying that, right? They're even kind of hinting towards they don't know. Now, the reason I show you this Project Loon and all this stuff right here that you're looking at is because it was some information I found, and I thought it pretty interesting because I went to look up what Project Loon was, and this company should have been shut down in 2021. So if you want more information about that, go check out my Twitter. My Twitter handle is @infinity20. That's a T-O. So infinity2TO, obviously 0. Anyway, so as you can see here, Project Loon is the operator. Now, this is a pretty expensive equipment. I'm not sure if this is an ex-employee of this company that's been shut down, but it used to be owned by Google X, and it was meant to provide internet to rural communities, I guess, but it shut down. But let's read about this China adventure. So China joins U.S. adventures of mystery UFOs. China prepares to shoot down object in eastern skies as U.S. brings down one over Canada. So you're going to see here, and I'm not going to read necessarily the whole thing. I'm going to skip some parts, but you're going to see here that either this is them cleverly doing an elaborate hoax to make the world believe that they're not behind the U.S. attacks, or they're actually under some sort of attack. So I don't know why this comes out of Ottawa, but regardless, China prepared on Sunday to shoot down an unidentified flying object currently over Shandong province. And I wish there was video or pictures of any of these things. It makes me wonder if there isn't. Like that, maybe there is. They're putting it out, but the government's blocking it. So the state media said hours after a U.S. fighter jet brought down, I read that part right. Let's go down to China's state-controlled Global Times said in a tweet in the morning that maritime authorities in eastern Shandong province announced that they had spotted the object in waters near the coastal city of Rizal and were preparing to shoot it down. Reminding fishermen to be safe. It was not immediately clear whom the flying object might belong to. Every country was now looking to the skies with more skepticism ever since the U.S. military shot down a Chinese spy balloon on February 4th. On Friday, U.S. fighter jets downed another object off Alaska's north coast. As the UFO adventure continued, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said in a tweet that Canadian and U.S. aircraft were scrambled in a joint military operation and a U.S. F-22 successfully fired at the object to take it down. Canada's Defense Minister Anita Anand later said the object shot down in the Yukon was small, cylindrical in shape. So they're not mentioning any mentions of a balloon, and the shape of it is very odd. And there's one, the new one that was just down was rectangular. So she added that the object was flying at an altitude of approximately 40,000 feet, had unlawfully entered Canadian airspace, and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. Shortly afterwards, in a sign of jitters over possible intrusions, aviation authorities shut down part of the airspace over the northwest U.S. state of Montana after detecting what they called a radar anomaly. The U.S. Northern Command said the fighter jets took to the skies but did not identify any object to correlate to the radar hits. That's what I was talking about earlier. The skies were then reopened to the commercial air traffic. Now, what makes me kind of weird out is that no one's really talking about the general coming out and saying we have no idea how these things stayed afloat. That's the more pressing question. That's why they can't identify it, is what he's saying, or else we would just call it a balloon. Trudeau said Canadian forces in the Yukon will now recover and analyze the wreckage of the object. He added he spoke with U.S. President Joe Biden over the latest incursion, while Anand also said she spoke with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. The U.S. Department of Defense said U.S. and Canadian planes flew together to take on the object on Saturday. President Biden authorized U.S. fighter aircraft assigned to NORAD to work with Canada, Pentagon spokesperson Pat Ryder said. A F-22 fighter jet fired an AIM-9X missile that brought down the high-altitude airborne object over northern Canada today in Yukon that borders the U.S. state of Alaska, spokesman Ryder said. In a statement, the operation came after a U.S. fighter jet downed another object on Friday off the U.S. state's north coast near the village of Deadhorse. Search and recovery operations for the remains of that object continued, but were hindered by Arctic wind chill, snow, and limited daylight, the Northern Command said. Over the past 8 days, F-22 fighter jets have taken out 3 objects in the airspace above the U.S. and Canada. Mind you, the other one was taken down in the Atlantic, and there was another one that they're trying to kind of keep hush-hush. There's 5 that were shut down so far, not 4, but now 6 coming out of China, I guess. And anyway, so I guess not. No, there's one in South America. That's not it hasn't been shut down, so never mind. Who has sent them? There's no news on who has sent them. On February 4th, the U.S. jet shot down a large white balloon off the coast, so we know about that. The U.S. has said that Chinese balloons had flown over dozens of countries across 5 continents in recent years, and it learned more about balloon program after closely monitoring the one shot down near South Carolina. Very, very interesting. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this story. And if you guys can check out the description box, I'd very much so appreciate it. This picture right here is some of the work that the company I told about, Project Loon, they're kind of affiliated with this kind of stuff, and it kind of makes sense. You know, it makes me wonder if they don't have prisons. And mind you, these balloons can stay up there for 360 days, almost a year, probably entire year. They probably could have them stay there for longer now. But yeah, basically these damn things stay up there for months and months at a time, almost an entire year. So the whole satellites, you know, actually being on hot air balloons and not in orbit, just got a little, you know, the argument for it just got a little bit better, to say the least. So anyway, check the description box down below. You'll find a Cash App link. I'd really much so appreciate you guys taking a moment to try to donate some dollars over here, because we're not monetized anymore since the main channel got taken down. And obviously our numbers plummeted from 8,000 to 1,600, which I'm very still happy over. I'm very proud and happy to have my strong diehards. I think about a group of 200 of you guys are my diehards. So I appreciate you guys, and everybody else, I appreciate y'all too. Please comment down below. Helps the algorithms out, and really it's what we're all here for, to kind of chit chat about these theories. So feel free to go down there and comment, subscribe, like, and all that stuff. And as always, I'm going to leave you with my routine. To God be the glory.